Hi, Harpriya. How are you?
Sir, fine, sir. What about you, sir?
I'm good too. Thank you. So, can you tell me something about yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Harpriya.
Mhm.
I recently completed my post graduation and I did my graduation BSc Computer Science in 2021 passed out. I have learned manual testing, API testing, and automation testing.
Mhm. Okay. So, which programming language you are using for automation testing?
Java, sir. Selenium with Java.
Okay. Okay. Great. Right. So, can you tell me which are the locators you will be using for creating automation scripts?
Um, Locator by ID,
Mm-hmm.
name, tag name, CSS selector, um, link text, partial text,
Mm-hmm.
and XPath class name.
Okay. Which are the different types of XPath that you are aware about?
We are using single
Mm-hmm.
slash and a double slash.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you call them? Single slash and double slash?
Yes,
Okay, so there are two types of XPath. One is absolute XPath and one is relative XPath,
yes,
right? Okay,
yes,
now, yeah, now you have to automate this particular task, which is related to upload file functionality on some website. So how would you approach this task for automation? You have to test this file upload functionality or a feature for a website. Now you have to automate this task. So how would you approach this task? What would be your approach? What all things you will do?
driver dot find element
So that is the
byte.
code. That is the code that you are telling. But what about the approach? Yeah, we'll come to code also, but what about the approach that you will take?
Silk test.
Select the what? Selecting the hello.
Don't know, sir.
Yeah, you are telling something.
Don't know, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, no worries. So, how would you approach this task? So, let's say you get this task for automation. Hmm? So,
Yes,
let me share my screen. Hmm. Is my screen visible to you?
yes, sir.
Mm. So the very first thing you would do is you would identify the file upload input field on a web page using its locator. So you will find the locators, right? Maybe
Yes,
it is
sir.
ID, XPath, CSS, whichever locators that you will get, right? So obviously you'll be
Yes,
going for Selenium WebDriver. Hmm? And
yes,
what all, yeah, then what you will do is you will create some test data in your framework. So different kinds of files you can take, maybe in the form of KB, in the form of
yes, sir.
MB, right?
Yes,
Those all different file types you can take. GB is there. You can test with different file types, maybe with 0 KB as well. Hmm?
yes, sir.
Then what you will do is you will pass all these file types and their file names in the form of parameters.
Yes.
So how will you pass the parameters in BDD framework? So we'll come
What?
to that question. Yeah, we'll come to that question also. After submitting the file, then what you will do is you'll verify the file is successfully uploaded. And whatever the success messages that you are getting or any kind of confirmation messages, those all things you will be putting in the form of assertions, right? Then
Yes,
you
sir.
can also include the negative scenarios in your automation script wherein you are uploading unsupported file formats or oversized files, and you can verify the appropriate error messages are displayed or not.
Yes, sir.
Getting it? Okay. Now tell me, how will you pass the parameters in the case of BDD framework? Yeah, tell me what will you do?
parameter.
What is BDD framework? Are you aware about it?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So how will you pass the parameters in a BDD framework?
Don't know, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, no worries. See, this is one of the approach how you can pass the parameters in the feature file, right? This is a feature file wherein you have to add two numbers.
Yes,
Given is that you have been entering number one as number one, and then you have entered number two as number two, right? Then when I add the numbers, then the result should be the result. So herein you can add multiple parameters.
yes,
Hmm. So this is one of the approach. There are other approaches as well available.
yes.
Okay. Okay. What is BTD framework? Tell me.
What's that?
What is BDD framework?
Browser data framework.
Sorry, browser title?
Framework, sir.
No, no, it's not related to just browser. It's an end-to-end framework. But what is it? Do you know the full form of BDD framework?
Mhm.
Hmm.
No,
So
sir.
it is behavioral driven development framework, wherein you will be having the keywords in the form of given, when, then, and, right? So recently we saw the feature file. You will have keywords, you will have step definition file, you'll be writing backend code in the step definition file, you will have test runner file, right?
Yes,
And all these features will be, all the modules will be covered with different feature files.
yes,
Hmm. You can also do parameterization in those feature files.
yes.
Hmm. Okay, fine. So what is the difference between absolute XPath and relative XPath?
Absolute XPath, we use single slash. It's like
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
uh, finding start notation, start location. We use
Start location in the sense.
ele- element. We are matching start start location double slash single slash
In which one? Absolute or relative?
absolute absolute, sir.
Absolute. And what
Double
about
slash we
relative?
use
Uh,
relative XPath.
then
All the elements we use in this double slash.
what else?
That's all, sir.
Hmm, okay. See, what is absolute XPath? So it will begin from the root of the HTML document, right? What is
Yes,
relative XPath? It will start from the context node, from the current position. This
yes,
has one slash, right?
yes, sir.
Right. Then this will specify the full path to the target element. This will provide a concise path. This is more reliable, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is independent of the current location in the document. This will adapt to the current position in the hierarchy,
Yes,
right? So whenever you have to search some locator, search some element, so in case of absolute XPath, it will take from the very root of that
yes, sir.
particular document. Whereas in case of relative, it will take nearby to that element so that you'll get a reference. And the problem with absolute XPath is if you take from the root
Yes,
to the element where you are trying to locate. So there can be multiple elements between those. And if any of the locators, if any of the elements locator gets changed, then you won't be able to track or trace your locator with respect to absolute XPath. So that's the problem with the absolute XPath.
Yes.
Okay, now tell me, what is stale element reference exception?
The element no longer attachment in document object model.
Mhm. So you're getting stale element reference exception.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how will you overcome it? How will you handle this exception?
No, sir.
Mhm. Okay, okay, no worries. See, uh,
Sir.
what you can do is you can go for retry mechanism. So let's say you
Yes,
didn't find that particular element and you are getting stale element reference exception. Then what you can do is you can go for a retry mechanism. You can try again to find that element, and
yes,
with multiple attempts you can try, right? This is one of the approach. There are other approaches also that you can try that you can use to overcome stale element reference exception or handle stale element reference exception,
yes,
right? So these are all the multiple ways how you can handle or how you can overcome the stale element reference exception. Here they have used try catch mechanism and
yes,
they'll be handling this exception.
yes, sir.
Okay, what do you know about weights in Selenium?
Wait. These are three types, sir.
Hmm.
Implicit weight, explicit weight, and fluent weight.
Hmm. Then
Implicit implicit weight is some amount of time is there before throwing the no such element.
hmm.
Um, explicit weight some particular time before throwing the element not visible exception,
Hmm.
and fluent weight
Then
that's also fluent weight. I don't.
okay, which one is more better to use?
Implicit weight, sir.
Implicit weight. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Okay, so let this be an open question for, yeah, for the people who are watching this video. Which weight
Yes,
is better to be used, implicit weight or explicit weight? Okay, now I want you
yes,
to open this website
yes,
in your machine and you need to share your screen. I'll tell you one element whose locator you have to find.
yes.
Yeah, so I'm giving you screen sharing rights. You can click on green button and you can share screen.
Which one, sir?
Green color button, share screen button, you would be able to see. Can you click on share screen button?
Yes. Oh,
Hmm.
yes, sir.
Yeah, click on that button.
Which one, sir?
Share screen button, green color button. Are you able to see share screen button?
Yes.
So click on that button.
It's
Hmm?
not working.
How is that possible?
Share.
So what? Yeah, now it is screen sharing. Yeah.
Okay.
Now open that SBI website.
Go
Hmm. Hmm.
Google.
I've shared one link in the chat box with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Open that website. Hmm. Now I want you to find the locator for language dropdown. Language dropdown, which is there at the top. Top right, language dropdown.
Ah,
Yeah. You need to find the locator for this.
language. This one, sir.
Hmm. So can you find the
English.
locator? Hmm? Can you find the locator
Ah,
for this?
yes, sir.
Hmm.
I use CSS selector.
It is up to you, whichever locator you find. Whether you are comfortable with ID, XPath, CSS, test trigger, whichever. Are you able to find the locator?
No, sir. I don't know.
So can you try once? How will you find the locator? What will you do? Take your time to think, no worries. And there is no hurry as well. What will you do? Tell me.
No.
Hmm. So let me share my screen. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
So see, this is a language drop down. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Right? So what will you do? You will inspect this element. Now on this website, it will tell you that right click is not working. So what will you do? You will press function F12 to open this inspect window. Right? As soon as you will come here, you'll see this button ID equal to D label.
Yes, sir.
You can use this ID. You can also create relative XPath.
Yes, sir.
Right? So that's how you can create the locator. If ID is there, you can use ID. If XPath is there, you can use XPath.
Yes.
Simple.
Yes, sir.
So the relative XPath would be / button @
Yes.
ID equal to D label if you want to go for XPath.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, ID is also available. D label is the ID.
Yes.
Right? Okay, fine. Hmm. What do you mean by page object model?
Page object model is a design pattern.
Hmm.
Uh, it's create a ob object repositories.
Hmm.
multiple test cases run on object repository.
Multiple test cases will run.
Yes.
Yeah, but what is page object model? What is page object model in Selenium?
Uh, it's create elements repository object repository elements and like text boxes, buttons. Uh, it uses GUI,
What GUI will it use?
graphical user interface.
Which one?
Graphical user interface.
Why it will use graphical user interface? Okay, tell me what are the advantages of page object model? Hmm, hmm. Okay, no worries. So, see, is my screen visible to you?
Yes.
See, why do we go for page object model? Because we have got various options there. One is code reusability, that is, page classes can be reused across multiple test cases, right? One is code maintainability. So you can do changes to the UI can be easily managed by updating corresponding page class. So this is an example of a page class, right? So each web page in your application will be represented with a separate class. For example, if you take an example of an e-commerce website, you will have separate pages for login, you will have separate page for payment, right? You will have
Yes.
separate page for add to cart functionality, right?
Yes.
So this class will contain the locators and methods that are required to interact with that particular elements on that page. Now, if there is a UI UX change on that particular screen, then you just have to update that particular page classes only, right? Find by ID is equal to username, password, login button, right? Then username, password, then click on login button, right? So that's how
Yes.
this is a sample example.
Yes.
Similarly, along with page class, you will also have test class,
Yes.
right? Then readability, the test scripts become more readable and maintainable, right? Then
Yes.
reduced code duplication. So with page classes, there is less duplication of code for interacting with the common elements, right? So it is easier
Yes.
to manage as well. It is easier to do a kind of maintenance, right? Okay, what is page factory?
What's that?
Page factory.
Which- don't know, sir.
Hmm. Okay, how will you verify the page title of some particular page that you are automating? How will you verify the page title?
We use XPath,
Hmm. XPath what?
XPath methods.
Hmm. Okay, then.
Sunset.
Hmm. Okay, see, in order to come up with the XPath, see, when I say page title, so let me
Yes.
help you with the code as well. Hmm. See, this is the code that you can write. You'll first write WebDriver, driver equal to new ground driver, right?
Sir,
Then driver dot get web page, then get the actual title of the web page, right? Then you can define the expected title. And then if your actual title matches the expected title, then you write page title verification passed. If it does not matches, then page title
sir,
verification failed. And close the WebDriver. Simple.
yes, sir.
Okay, okay, Harpriya. Uh, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for being, coming for this interview, right? It was nice talking to you. And do you have any questions for me?
What about my, how is my performance?
So you need to practice automation. You need to practice real-time websites. Maybe Amazon. You can practice finding locators first, and then
Yes,
creating end-to-end scripts.
how, how you will find work from home jobs? Sir?
How?
Find a work from home jobs, sir.
Okay. So you are a fresher, right?
Yes,
So what I would suggest is don't go for work from home job. You can try from work from office jobs, right? There are a lot of jobs that are coming for experience for freshers also. Those will be coming, but always go for work from office jobs. As you're a fresher,
okay,
you would get to know about the culture. You would get a lot of knowledge. You'll get a lot of support from the people who are already experienced in the IT industry when you're working from
yes.
office, right? So those kind of things would help you to grow.
Can,
When yeah.
can you refer me, sir, for job?
So, okay. So, how should you ask for referral? So, uh, the, on LinkedIn, you can increase your network and you can refer. So, I would be happy to refer you, but as of now, I don't have any of the names of the companies that are hiring freshers. But yes, we are creating videos on them. You'll get all those content on the job opportunities from our channel
Yes.
itself. You can apply from there directly.
Yes. I have applied too many jobs, sir, but I I didn't get any mail.
Right, right. So it depends what is the requirement, what exactly they are looking for, how many years of experience, and is it open for freshers? If it's for freshers, are they looking for Java automation, or is it Python automation, or is it C Sharp automation? Those kind of things, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, no worries, Priya.
Yes.
All the best for your career.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.